What up? What up? It's Mike and EJ Sportcast, and man, today's gonna be a freaking full one. So we talking Andy Dalton today. We talking about Sam Ellinger. We talking about this big Bulls trade. There's a lot in store. What up, my man EJ? How you been, brother?
Shoot, pretty good, man. Pretty good. Just ready to get on these topics, man. We got a lot to talk about today.
Got a lot to talk about. Lately, I feel like the Bears have deserted us as fans. I remember you shot me a text the other day. And I was just like down. I was like, damn, bro. It's like we might as well just this is season goodbye. I might not even watch football this season. Like that's how down I was.
Yeah.
Then I decided I was like, you know what? Let me just at least be optimistic. Checked out some Andy Dalton highlights from last year, and I'm like, okay, this guy can make some throws. Like there were some legit throws in there. But we're gonna get to more of that later. Um, right now we're gonna focus on potential prospects. I feel like because we've been doing that, and for this episode, you had the QB of choice, so I'm gonna let you take the lead on this.
Yeah, so this week we got Texas quarterback Sam Ellinger. Now, a lot of projections don't have him going like, first, second, maybe like third round. I don't know. Depends on what predictions you get. But I don't see a few guys actually have him in their top 10 as a quarterback. I think one guy had him ranked like maybe eighth. And he's got some pretty good stats. And let me see. I'll pull up his stats real quick.
So top
Uh,
8 in the whole NCAA or in the current draft?
well, the top. Let me rephrase that. The top 8 as far as the quarterbacks is coming out this year. They got
Okay,
him as the eighth best. So
okay, that's not bad. Top 10,
yeah. So let me just pull up his stats. So here's his
definitely
stats right
project,
here.
but
Yeah. So he threw for
yeah,
2,500 yards last year. 26 TDs, only 5 picks.
I
So he's
like
got some.
that.
Yeah. So he's got some pretty decent stats. And I was looking at some of his highlights. Watched his pro day. He looks pretty decent. Now, do I think he's gonna be one of those guys that like could it potentially be like, oh, he's like a steal of the draft. He'll be like the next like Drew Brees or something. Nah, not really. I don't know. It's hard to tell. He'll probably end up being like a backup quarterback, possibly. I don't know. You never know with these dudes.
Right,
Who would have said that Tom Brady was going to be the greatest quarterback of all time, where he got drafted? Because you know he in his like pro day and his like combine and stuff, he wasn't looking like super spectacular, but he just had it.
right.
He had that drive to be great. Like some of the great players, like Michael Jordan, LeBron, guys like that. Joe Montana. Guys like that. But I pulled up a few highlights for him. Let me see. Should I do the pro day one? I'm gonna do the one where he was still in college. So a few of his good plays from college. So let me pull that up.
Okay. I noticed that Texas they get a lot of quarterbacks that come out of that school. I mean, the most
Yeah,
recent one that I can really think of is Vince Young, but
yeah. Vince Young came from Texas. What's that other dude's name? Colt McCoy came from Texas.
yeah, Colt McCoy, that's a good one. Yep. Brady Quinn, if I'm not mistaken, came from there too. If I'm not mistaken, I might be off.
I'm trying to remember. Maybe he did. I forget what college Brady Quinn went to.
He ended up being trash, so that's probably why.
Yeah, he did.
I
Yeah, but
was gonna, I was high on.
he's got some moves. The dude can move a little bit. He ain't a statue in the pocket. He got a little bit of mobility. He's more of a
He's
pocket
kind of
passer though.
small. He's kind
Yeah,
of small.
he looks. That's what I thought too. I'm like, man, this dude look kind of small, but you look at his height. It turns out he's 6'3". I'm like, really? You don't look like
Damn.
it.
Okay. Yeah, he looks
Yes,
little. Okay.
yes.
Maybe it's just the camera angles.
Yeah, maybe it is, but when you look at his height, it pulls up at 6'3". I'm like, are you serious? But yeah, he's got a nice little arm on him. Nah,
He's a little bit mobile too. I like that.
yeah,
Oh, good
yeah,
throw.
that's a real good throw.
I can see he makes some good decisions. Didn't rush it.
Yeah,
Oh,
got good pocket presence.
oh, good. Oh, okay. That's hey. That throw was on the money, bro. Damn, good throw.
Yeah, that was a good throw. I'm
Hey,
not
that
gonna
that
lie.
was a nice spiral and everything, man. I like that. Good throw.
Yeah, see, he got some. He's not like as quick as some of the other guys that we don't um show him for a QB of the week, but he can get outside the pocket if he has to. I like. All right, let me pull up some of his plays from pro day real quick. Now, I really don't take much stock in pro day because some of these dudes will have like, oh, they look amazing at their pro day, and then once they get to the NFL, they look like
Yeah,
hot
but
garbage.
and it's mainly because they're like not really throwing at any defenses. You know what I'm saying? They're just there to kind of show their arm talent as far as how hard they can throw and how far they can throw and just accuracy. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But but you're not seeing like, okay, does this guy is he smart? Can he dissect the defense?
Yeah, yeah. See, man, you look at him. This dude does not look like he's 6'3". I feel like that's some bull crap. I feel like he's like
Yes.
6'1" or something.
At the most, I give that guy 6 on a good day.
Yeah, he looks real compact. I might have to pull up his height again, man. I could swear I seen him at 6'3". He does not look like he's 6'3". He's got a decent arm. Is it like world breaking? Nah, not really. He got pretty decent ball placement.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that one throw that he made earlier in the highlights where he moved up in the pocket and just threw a dot down the middle, man. Those are like throws that, those are NFL type throws. So yeah,
Yeah, it
six
says
three. You
six
okay?
foot three, man. What the heck? That's the smallest
Man,
six
he
foot
just
three
looks
I've ever
so
seen.
like he just looks so tiny. But I don't know. Honestly, out of the I think we've showed three so far prospects. So far, he actually has the most swag. I don't know. I kind of like his poise. He was moving well in the pocket. Feet were decent. I mean, we'll see. There's a reason to see why he's only ranked top 8 out of the top 10. Or out of all the quarterbacks that are coming out. So, well, we'll see. He didn't look bad though on film at all.
No, he didn't look
Not
bad
at
at
all.
all. And who knows? With depending on what happens with the Bears, at this point I don't know if they're gonna move up or not. I'm pretty sure they're gonna get a quarterback. They'd be stupid not to, honestly, especially this year. But
They would
I don't know
have
if
to.
they, yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna try to move up to get one because right now in their 20th, they got the 20th pick. Like, do you move up to grab a guy, or do you try to wait and get one of these like, just wait to your 20th spot and pick up like one of the guys later on in the draft? Because I mean, it's you look at some of these people's draft projections and stuff, and they have this guy going here. The number two guys is usually the same. They got
Right.
uh well actually 2, 3 guys are usually the same, but after that, everybody's all over the place. Some people have the Bears drafting an old lineman. Some people have a lot of them. I'll be honest with you, I see them drafting wide receivers. And then you got some say, well, the Bears will pick up a quarterback in this round. The Bears will pick up a quarterback in that round. They'll get a wide receiver. They'll get an old lineman. So who knows? Like with any of these other teams, like some people
Right.
got Kyle Pitts going to Philadelphia. Some people thought Kyle Pitts might go to Cincinnati. It's like there's all over the place. So we'll see. Some people I've seen, like some people real high on Mac Jones. Some people are real
Right.
low on Mac Jones. Some people think Mac Jones might go like maybe like the top 10, and then some other people think he might drop all the way down to the Patriots. So we don't even know. We'll see what happens on draft day, but I think who knows? Wait, the Bears can end up drafting this guy. They can end up drafting any of the guys that we pick because we're not picking none of like the top like 5 quarterbacks that's gonna go like the top, you know, 15, 10 picks. We're picking guys that we think, okay, this probably be a guy that the Bears could possibly get, you know. So we'll
Right.
see.
And anybody that we could possibly get is obviously going to be a project. It ain't going to be anybody that's going to come in and just start tearing up the league. Like I highly doubt it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
obviously that's probably why they brought in Andy Dalton, because it don't matter who you start, whether you start Andy Dalton, whether you start Nick Foles, that third quarterback that we're going to end up having is not going to come in and rescue the day. So
Yeah.
um, the smartest thing that they can do is not go with a quarterback in the first round. If somebody like Mac Jones or somebody doesn't fall to you, which I highly doubt at this point,
Yeah, honestly.
he's gonna fall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because
So
they his name keeps coming up. People gonna start these GMs is probably like thinking maybe I should get Mac Jones. So some of the GMs is not gonna get to, like the top 5 quarterbacks. Probably like maybe I should try to get Mac Jones. You know, Mac Jones is
right.
here. Like, should I pass him up? Should I get him? So who knows, man?
Nah, you're not passing up on somebody like, because I mean his numbers were good, and maybe we'll show him next week. Maybe I'll have him be my QB that we highlight. But he's not, like, at first I was hoping he was gonna fall to us because there was like a lot of negative things that people were saying, but I guess he's been impressing. So that's probably out of the question unless we make a big trade like San Francisco. Like I know you heard about that huge trade between San Francisco, Miami, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a third team.
I think
Uh,
Philadelphia was involved
Philly. Okay, okay, yeah. So are we gonna make a splash like that? I doubt it. I mean, Ryan Pace has been known to throw away picks.
for
I
real.
mean, either way, he either throws away the pick in a trade or he'll throw it off by like drafting somebody, and we get a Kevin White that plays
Yeah,
5 snaps.
yeah,
Um, but staying kind of on the quarterback position though, I think, like, at first I was so mad about that Andy Dalton. Like I was talking at the beginning of the episode, I was so mad about the Andy Dalton pickup just because he looked washed up. He didn't really do nothing with the Cowboys, but they also had a worse line than we did, and I didn't even know that. They had a worse offensive line than we did. So with a revamped offensive line, could he put up some decent numbers? Like I was looking at some of his stats. Let me see if I can show him here. He's not terrible. Like he's really not terrible. Last year wasn't that great. Went 14 for 8. But that one season, I don't know if we brought this up last week, if I don't remember, but that season right there where he had the 4,200 yards, he's probably not going to get to a season like that. But like the fact that he's capable of doing it kind of makes me feel at ease a little bit.
hmm
Maybe that's what Nagy and Pace were looking at when they were like, "Yo, we're gonna bring this guy in. Yeah, you're QB1," because that's how they promised him. That's what he said. They promised him the starting position.
yeah,
Mike Glennon all over again,
yep,
possibly.
yeah. Honestly,
Um, but before we get into the negative, because there's negatives about those numbers too. I mean, they didn't look the greatest neither, but they didn't look the worst. But let me show a couple of highlights. I was just watching some highlights just to see, like, okay, what did he do last year? Because I'm going based off what you did last year. I don't care your highlights from 2018, 17, whatever. It's last year. What'd you do for me lately?
right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of like, okay, he throws better balls than what we had last year. His decision making was better than last year. The line. So, but I'll let you see a little bit so you can see kind of what I was seeing there. I like that he has a little bit of wheel, so he's able to extend the play at least like a little bit.
Yeah, he just made a throw right there that Mitchell Trubisky wouldn't make or couldn't make.
For real. Now this catch goes all to the receiver.
Yeah,
The
that was
throw,
all
the
on,
throw was on
on
the money, but
that was all on
that,
him. Yeah,
Like the guy is actually not half bad. I sometimes you have to look at stuff from a realist eyes, and like as much as we want an elite quarterback, as long as they're upgrading, they're starting to trend up. I'm not too completely against this Pickett or this signing anymore.
I'm still iffy on it just because of his reputation, but at this point, this is our quarterback. I'm just gonna have to deal with it, man. Like, hopefully he can show some improvement because honestly, quarterback play last few years, especially last year, it's like Jesus Christ. The only time we had good quarterback play the whole year last year was in like small spurts. And Mitchell Trubisky towards the end of the season, he got a little hot, but that was against garbage teams. So
Right.
it's like, are we gonna be, is he gonna be an upgrade? We'll see. At this point, it is what it is. But man, our schedule is brutal.
It
So
is.
it could be a long year for us. They gonna have to protect him. I don't care, if we got Joe Montana back there. If he ain't getting protected, it's not gonna make a difference. That's got to get fixed. So we'll see if he got some protection. All right, maybe I get a feeling he will do a little better than maybe Mitchell Trubisky. Maybe we'll see, and then who knows what our wide receiver you know situation is going to be. I guess with Allen Robinson, whether he
He
stays
did
or not.
sign. He signed his franchise tag, which is good.
Yeah, so you know, as far as how well he'll do, I don't know, man. I'm just I couldn't believe it when he got signed. And then, like I said, you were brought up his press conference, how they said he's going to be a starting quarterback and stuff. And then I also seen stuff where the Bears actually interested in him last year, but they ended up getting Nick Foles. And they was like,
Right.
well, we can't get Russell Wilson. Let's get Andy Dalton because that's who we went last year. It's like,
Right.
really? It's like sometimes you think like, man, did they just say that they were getting Russell Wilson just so we can think us Bears fans can be like, well, at least they're trying, which don't
Right.
mean crap to us. Like trying don't mean nothing to us all these years later.
Facts.
Like
Facts.
we don't care about y'all trying. We care about y'all fixing the situation. We've been having this conversation. How long you been watching football? How long I've been watching football? We have
Right.
not had a consistent quarterback. What the best quarterback we can say we've had since our time watching football? Jay Cutler. Like, come
Color.
on,
And
man.
that's not even saying a lot, man.
Exactly.
We used to get up like, we used to be happy. So, we had a couple seasons. I want to say maybe two good seasons under Jay Cutler. And those good seasons kind of like made us think like at any moment, okay, he's gonna snap into that elite level. It just never happened.
Yep.
So unfortunately, yeah, that's the best quarterback we're stuck with. Honestly, we might even be able to say Rex Grossman because he at least got us to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
So
That's true. He did.
either way, those are like guys that are considered not that great. So it's like that the type of mediocrity that we've had to deal with. And now they want to bring in another guy that could potentially be mediocre. I'm just trying to be optimistic
Yeah,
because
I
at the end of the day, I
appreciate that
do love
about you.
the team. I love these guys and I want them to, and I want to be there to see, and be happy with them when they win the Super Bowl in a couple of years because I'll see them winning it next year. So I'll say a couple of years or a few years, 10 years. I don't know. Might be another decade before we even make an actual playoff run.
Yeah,
Now
honestly.
it's been what? It's 2006 is when we made the Super Bowl. We're in 2021 now. That's what, like 15 years
Yeah,
since the last Super Bowl appearance.
been a minute.
It's been a minute, but just to finish off with Andy Dalton, I have a little bit more highlights where this is one game where I was like, okay, he was throwing some dots. Like this was kind of like he was kind of like old Andy Dalton. Like it was a pretty good highlights. I mean, again, he didn't play the greatest throughout the whole season, but if this kind of helped him get his confidence back and then maybe he could take another step in the right direction with us, we just need a game manager. Like I was texting you earlier, if our defense takes a step up, just a step up, like a little bit, where the corners are locking people down again. Eddie Jackson is getting interceptions. Um, Eddie Dalton can manage the game to at least get us to the playoffs.
Yeah, we gonna need, like you said, we're gonna need that defense though to show up. We'll see how they do with our new coach, our defensive coordinator. I'm expecting. Honestly, I was expecting big things, but after Kyle Fuller, that situation and stuff, it's like, we'll see. I'm hoping with what we got, what Marcus Trufant is our replacement for him, pretty much.
I
We'll
thought it
see,
was
man.
Desmond. Is
Yeah, my
Marcus?
bad. Desmond Trufant. It's Desmond.
Because I think one of them is old. I don't want the old one.
Yeah.
I'll take the young guy.
Heck yeah.
That's another guy though. He said he was happy to come here to play with Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's over here attracting some defensive guys, but he hasn't attracted no stars to come play over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Robert
it's
Quinn.
crazy. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say Robert Quinn can't play no worse than he played last year. It's like,
He
what,
really
2 sacks
can't,
the whole
bro.
year?
And the first one came on the first game back. Like his first game back, I think it was like what, game 3 or game 2.
Yeah,
Got a
exactly.
sack. Didn't get nothing for like 10 games.
Yeah.
So yeah, these a few highlights here showing Dalton, like just trying to give him a little bit of respect, just a little bit though, because you got to earn that here in the Windy City. You got to earn respect. So I'm gonna give you a little bit, just because I like some of them throws he was making. I would have showed some of the bad ones, but we're trying to be optimistic today.
Yeah, please.
Oh man, but either way, we're gonna find out. What's today? Today is March 29th, so I think we're like less than 30 days away from the draft, which I'm super excited, bro. I'm getting closer and closer. Right after the draft, and we have like another 3 months after that. Then we start getting ready for football. We're gonna see what this team is gonna do, man. What's your prediction for their record this year? Before draft, and then we'll do one after the draft as well.
All right.
Prediction.
As of right now, I probably say they best be. I say 6-10.
6-10.
Yeah, 6-10.
Okay, 6-10 is good. Uh 6-10. I'll probably. You know what? That schedule you showed me was pretty nasty, man. I'm in between 4-12,
God dang.
or I don't think we're gonna be good, bro. Like, because it all depends if our defense takes a step up, not a step back. Because they've been taking steps back the last 2 seasons.
Yep.
You imagine if we take another step back, we're not gonna be winning no games, man.
Nah,
So,
bro.
but if they take a step up, then I can see them going 7-9. I was gonna go 8-8, but with that tough schedule, it's not gonna be it unless a lot of big breaks happen where people get injured on the other end, or for whatever reason, Andy Dalton that decides to have like a resurrection year with us. We'll see though. We'll see though. So 7-9. So we're gonna keep that in mind. 7-9, and then you got 6-10. Well,
Yep.
actually, no, they're playing an extra game this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. They
They're
are.
thinking about changing the schedule. Like I think it's already in the works, according to Adam Schefter.
Yeah,
So,
I forgot about that.
but we'll see. Right now, we'll keep it as if like at 16 games because that's what we're used to right now. So,
Yeah.
um, overall though, the next move that I think that the Bears need to make though, because they've been bringing in some guys. Like I don't know if you know that they brought Christian Jones back. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
He's not like a superstar or anything, but he's actually solid. Like I was mad that he went to the Lions in the first place because we had him 2 years ago and like a couple years before that. Dude is solid. Me and you were talking that on defense, they always focus on defense. They've been making all these signings on defense.
Yeah. Honestly.
Who else at this point do you think we can bring in to help on the offense?
I mean, I would have to see who's available, honestly, but if they don't get past the beginning points of free agency where a lot of guys got signed, they yeah, honestly, it starts in the trenches, man. They got to do something about that offensive line. Like you bring in a quarterback, but bring in an offensive lineman to protect them. Like I mean, I gotta assume they're gonna at least draft one, but it's like, yeah, you got a quarterback back there, but it's like if he ain't gonna have no time to throw, you see what happened to us last year. That was the hardest crap to watch, man. Them like that like chunk of the season where we honestly saw them like go from 5-1 to like loss. All them straight losses where they looked terrible because they couldn't block to save their lives. They couldn't
Facts.
block the run, they couldn't block the pass. We if they don't do something, we won't be that bad, but still, there has to be some type of improvement. Like so, like whatever they do, they got to focus on protecting the quarterback, making some holes for David Montgomery. They got to do something like that because honestly, uh, we could end up having another season like that. If let's God forbid them dudes get injured again, because we had injuries on the line last year. That was a big part of why we looked so terrible then.
True.
Let's say something else like that happens next year. So it's like they gotta that's gotta be a focus, man. Who they should sign, I don't know, but it's gotta be they gotta do something to bolster their offensive line. They have to.
So, so offensive line is what we feel like they need to bolster.
Yeah.
And I agree, honestly, man. It starts at the line, like you said, it starts at the trenches. And even if they just keep the guys that we have right now, like, okay, yeah, these are our guys, they're gonna be solid all year. Like you said, if one gets injured like last year, then we're back to square one
Yep.
where the line is trash and then Andy Dalton is just back there getting hammered the whole time.
Yep.
Um at this point, if they don't end up getting a top pick, which they won't because they're in the top 20, and I don't think anybody's want to trade back. Um, go with a lineman, like you said. Round two, go with another lineman, and then maybe just focus on the future QB. Meaning, like, okay, we don't get one this draft. This draft, we don't get a top pick. Let's get one in the third round because we have 1, 2, and 3 picks. I think we don't have a fourth. That's the only one. So you get a QB now, see what he can do. Then you bring in another guy next year, but you have linemen so where they can actually sit back and you can now analyze, okay, is this guy good? It's not the line, because the line's good now. Okay, now let's find a QB of the future.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how you find them when you can develop them, because now if you don't break the guy from the beginning, you might be able to shape up a diamond in the rough. I'm pretty sure if Tom Brady didn't have a decent line at one point in his career, like when he was starting to ascend, he might probably not would have not been who he is. So it's like all 55 men have to work together. Like that's
Yeah.
the reason why y'all all on the roster. But hey, man, we can talk Bears until we blue in the face. So we gonna switch off to the Bulls if that's cool with you.
Yeah, we can do it. Go ahead and talk about the Bulls.
Let's talk about this big trade that my dogs made, man.
Honestly, that caught me off guard. I was at work and I remember I was in the back of a box truck because I work at FedEx. And I get a message on my phone. I'm like, what the heck is this? I look at it. It says Bulls are trade for Nikola Vucevic. I'm like, no, this can't be real. I'm literally in the process of moving boxes. I'm like, I stopped, grabbed my phone, went on the internet, looked it up. Like, nah, this can't be real. Look it up, went on ESPN. It says Bulls are in talks to get Nikola Vucevic. I'm like, no way. What's funny though is on our podcast, I actually saw a I think we were talking about potential Bulls trades or something. This is a while ago. And I actually said, hey, I seen something where the Bulls could possibly get Nikola Vucevic. When I said that, back when I said it, there was no way in heck I actually thought it was gonna happen. I'm like, nah, who they gonna trade? Well,
Right, right.
but in that potential trade, which is crazy, I think it was Wendell Carter Jr. and Otto Porter. That's literally who they traded for. So I'm like, that's crazy. This actually ended up happening.
You
Now,
spoke it into existence.
yeah, I wish I could take credit for that. But in saying that, though, like this is huge for the Bulls.
Huge.
This is saying something about their new management, which is something we want for the Bears. Hey,
Right.
these dudes are actually trying. They know they got a franchise player in Zach LaVine. They are trying to build around him. They're
Right.
trying to get better. The guys that they got rid of, uh, Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., they got rid of
Two first
Daniel Ga-
rounds.
yeah, and then they got rid of Daniel Gafford. And who else did they get rid of? God dang it, it was another person they got rid of. To some nobody that nobody cares about. Maybe that was it. Oh, Luke Cornett. None of them guys that they got rid of is people that us Bulls fans actually care about. Oh, you can
Right.
have them. Like, take them. Go ahead. Like, we've honestly, a lot of people I've seen on the internet, they like, man, y'all finessed the crap out of the Magic. Y'all pretty much,
Facts.
y'all pretty much got an all-star for literally a bag of chips. Like, ain't nobody complaining on our end that we got rid of them guys. Like, yeah, you can
Nope.
have them.
And we
But
got Al Farouk too. He's a solid player.
yeah, I got Al Farouk Amino. So it's like we got, and also they got Daniel Tice, which is going to be a good player off the bench. So
That
it's
is a
like
good player off the bench.
we
Okay, cool.
we definitely improved. So
We did, bro. And I'm excited, bro, because it's like at the perfect time of the season. And honestly, like this is why I enjoy doing this podcast because we've been talking about this for weeks, and
yes,
to see them actually make a move that me and you like suggested, like not necessarily I suggested the Vucevic one, but I've been sitting here harping. We need somebody. You
yep,
were coming up with some clever trade deals, and one of them actually happened. I'm just like, it's awesome to see that. Even Josh was on here. We was all talking about trade options. So it's like, man, to finally to be, it feels like they heard us. They went out and made some moves. I'm excited, bro. I I hope they gel well. I think they'll make at least that AC with Vucevic, bro. They're gonna have to
yeah,
because
and
he kind of reminds me of of Jokic a little bit. You know, like this guy can pass. He can make some plays. Like obviously he's not the Joker, but he can make some plays. He got the three on him.
yep,
You know, he's good, bro.
yeah, and funny thing is he's one of like I think three players that's over like 6'10", that's averaging 20 plus points, shooting 40+% from the three, and getting double digit rebounds, like 10 plus rebounds. Those other two guys that are doing that are yeah, and Chandler Hutchison. Thanks, Josh. And the other two guys that are doing that are Nikola Nikola Jokic is one of them, and Joel Embiid is the other one. Those
Okay.
so he's up in there with those guys, and those guys are like top two of the best big men in the league. He's
Facts.
also one of those guys. And real quick, let me look for his stats because he crap, where did I put his stats? I got his stats here. He this is a guy we're adding. So we're adding an all-star to the team. And check out his stats that he has this year. This is are his stats from this year.
Okay. 11 boards. Oh, here, let me move the comment. I got you. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
we're gonna have to move the. There you go.
Yeah, so he's averaged
24 points. Okay.
24, 11, and 3.8. This is who we added to the team.
He
There's
walking double, bro.
yes, there's no guy that we had on the squad before him. None of the none of our big men probably together average those type of stats. Like seriously. Like Wendell Carter Jr. I think he was averaged like 13 points or something, like 10 rebounds. Maybe actually no, he was averaging less than 10 rebounds. But and then Daniel Gafford was doing absolutely nothing coming off the bench. So it's like we legit have two all-stars on the team now. And Patrick Williams, where everybody's high on him, we
I
feel
like
like
him. I like
he's
him.
feel like he's just gonna keep ascending. He's gonna keep getting better. And then we still got Zach LaVine, and hopefully Kobe White starts to play more consistently.
He
And
will.
then
they're gonna ask less of him now. Like you were saying on a couple of the podcasts that the coach has been harping on him to be a playmaker.
Yep.
It's gonna be easier for him now because people are they're gonna have to worry about Zach Levine, which they've been, but now they're gonna have to worry about Nikola.
Yep.
And then not only that, he's 6'11", so he's like a legit big man. You know, he's not 6'9", he's not six, he's 6'11", he's damn near 7 foot. And like when I say he got a three, that dude got a three. Like I remember back in the bubble last year, he single handedly was like the only reason that the Magic were even like putting in some work in that first round.
Yeah.
Without him, they would have been sorry.
Yes.
So I'm excited about this pickup. Has he? I don't know if he's played yet. I haven't seen any of the games since he's been picked up.
He played
But
one. He played one game, and he had I think he's averaged had like 21 points, like 11 rebounds or something. I forget his stats that game. They played one game, which was like against the Spurs. Honestly, they got their behinds kicked, but it was like one of them games where it's like y'all got new players.
right,
Greg Popovich was one win away from 1,300 wins in his career. So it's like, y'all picked the wrong day to play the Spurs. They were playing for Coach Popovich that game. It's like, nah, we getting your 1,300 win. Like, who cares who we I don't care if we was playing the goddamn Monstars, Michael Jordan. We finna win this game. But it's still, man, it was like, they, we'll see how it goes forward. I feel like it's gonna take a little while for them to gel. But I'm excited. Like I'm excited. I'm even excited for Daniel Tice. Because he's going to be a defensive uh player coming off the bench, and he's expanding his game. He's starting to shoot from the three now. He's good, like grabbing rebounds and stuff and playing defense, which is something they need on from that position coming off the bench. So it's going to be interesting to see. They got a game tonight. They play the Warriors, I think, at like 9 o'clock in Golden State.
That's gonna be on TV. That's gonna
Yeah,
be on TV.
yeah. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm gonna have to check it out because like this is what I've been waiting for. And now it's like now I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like there's only going up from here. I don't know how old Vucevic is, but he doesn't seem like he's too old. And in basketball, as long as you got a jumper, it doesn't really matter how old you are.
Yeah,
Like
dude
it's
is
not,
like,
as
dude's
long
like,
as you're not like a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was about to say he's shooting like 40% from three, and he's a big man.
Yeah, like exactly. And there's not a lot of people that can even block his shot, let alone try to act like they're about to block it. So he's just shooting like, with no hesitation. Beautiful pickup. Shout out to the GM for pulling that off. First round picks, he gave away 2, but there's not a guarantee. Like obviously, there's no guarantee. Vucevic has already shown that he's good, he's solid, he's an all-star, and excited, bro. We're gonna see what they do, man. And what's the record right now?
Let me see. What's our record? Because honestly, we're still right now we're under 500. We got some work we
Okay.
got to do. We're 19 and
Because there's not a
25
lot
right
of
now.
games left. 19 and 25. There's not a lot of games left neither. Like 40,
Yeah, they're gonna have
like 30 or
they gonna
something.
yeah they're gonna have to pick it up. But you know, I feel like it's honestly like I said, I think it's gonna take a few games for them to gel. And get everything together where like he's comfortable in Billy Donovan's offense. But I feel like once that happens, I feel like we're gonna be pretty good. I feel like we can get that 8th spot. At least at this point, I feel like we definitely should get into the play-in where we're like that 4-team tournament at the end of the season where those teams are fighting for that last spot. So I don't see us being any worse than that, honestly. We'll see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully tonight's game, you know, we'll get a better performance overall by the team because, like I said, we got destroyed against the Spurs. That game was like hard to watch. I think one point they were down like 30 something. Like they got
Yikes.
jacked up. Yeah, it was a pretty bad game, but which is like, oh yeah, welcome to Chicago. Y'all down by 40 points. So, but we'll see how it goes tonight. I feel like they can't play no worse than what they did against the Spurs. So
Right.
You know, we'll see.
And they're playing a good team. I mean, the Warriors ain't trash, so
No,
it'll be like a good look to see what they can do against a
I don't.
solid, really good
Yeah,
team.
and honestly, now that I think of it, I don't think Steph Curry's back, so that's a game they should win. Steph Curry,
Okay,
Steph
cool.
Curry got hurt.
Oh damn, I didn't know he was hurt. Like that makes sense as to why he's not playing then. Um, well, hopefully he gets better soon. Nobody really fears the Warriors anymore, so
No, not
not
like
to
they
worry
used to.
there. Exactly. But no, man. After tonight, we'll see what happens, and then hopefully next week we're talking about how much better they've gelled, and we're showing some highlights of them killing because I think we got a couple of games from here till next episode, so we
Yep.
got definitely time to figure it out. You have any highlights or anything you wanted to show
No,
from the
I don't got
Bulls?
no highlights for the Bulls because, like I said, they got destroyed. I'm like, yeah, let me not
Ain't
show
nothing
none
to
of
show.
let me not show none of that crap because that was pretty ugly. I kind of
That's
wanted to like
hilarious.
show like maybe some clips from Vucevic, but I'm like, nah. I usually don't show highlights when they lose. I just show highlights of the games they win.
I just seen this little thing right here that your brother put up. Damn, he put up 40 against us.
Yeah, I was watching the game.
Nasty.
They literally could not stop him. He's really good, man. He's skilled inside and out. Like he's a really good post player.
I'm
He's good at
excited, bro.
he's really good in the post. The dude can shoot from mid range. He can shoot from three. He's not that great on defense. Let me just say that, but his offensive skills are like top notch.
Okay, so he makes up for his defensive woes on that offense, like where it's like he can go get a bucket.
Yeah, but he's good at rebounding. He's good at rebounding, and he's good on offense. Defense is not necessarily his specialty. He can play a little bit, but he's kind of like a big man version of Zach LaVine because Zach LaVine can do pretty much everything on offense. He's just not all the way there yet on defense. Well, Zach LaVine's a better defender than Vucevic at his position, but
Yeah.
he's real skilled on offense, like really skilled. Like Josh said, dude dropped 40 on us easily. Like I watched the game, like this dude is unreal. The fact that we have him now, it's like, oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be fun to watch.
I mean, if somebody drops 40 on me, I'm about to go get him too.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
I'm
real.
just saying. I ain't trying to have that happen to me again.
Yeah, for real,
So
bro.
I'm excited though. Like we're gonna see tonight. I'm gonna make sure that I watch and hopefully he just shows out for us and like, okay, this is what y'all got. That first game was just a field, and he still dropped 20 points. He said so. It's not like he did bad. I'm sure
Yeah,
just the team around him didn't do well because they haven't gelled with him yet. Obviously, like we're speaking about. So, but we'll see what happens. So just to wrap things up, man, let's go ahead and do some shout outs today. I want to shout out Josh again because you're always coming out, bro. I honestly thought that you supporting us, it's been good. It's been good for us, man. It gets me motivated to come up here every day. At least we know we got one person watching. Me and your brother gonna do a better job at promoting, but we still kind of just trying to get our feel, just trying to get better at this before we really start promoting. Because when people come in, we want them to have like the best product that we could possibly put out. But
right,
the
right.
content is getting better because we're getting closer to that bear season.
Yes,
So,
sir.
but shout out to Josh. Like I said, thanks for staying with us, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah, let me shout out to my brother. Always supporting me. He supports me really pretty much everything I do. Shout out to my wife. Same thing. She always got my back. Shout out to her watching the kids right now, and shout out to you. My partner in crime on the show. So always appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you too, bro. And same thing, man. Just to wrap it up, you got me thinking. I forgot. I can't forget to shout out the wife too. She ain't here sleep. So shout out my wife, man. She be holding me down, man. She allowed me to do my thing without bothering me. So I love her for that. But next week, man, I got the QB of the week next week. So I'll figure out who I'm gonna show. Like I said, hopefully next week we're talking Vucevic dropped another 40 on the Warriors.
Yeah.
So Let's stay tuned, Josh. If you're trying to come out here next week so we can talk this big Bulls trade and how we feeling about this, more than welcome. And thanks for watching the show, man. Peace.